Hello and welcome to this presentation. My name is Matt and joining me is Richard, and we'll be covering BHP. Founded in 1885, BHP engaged in the discovery and production of iron ore, copper, oil and gas, and other natural resources. According to Statista.com, BHP is the largest company listed on the Australian Securities Exchange as of July 2022. Next slide, please. In relation to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, we have chosen to focus on number 5, gender equality. Out of the 17, we thought this would be good to choose as BHP is very focused on the sustainability of the company when it comes to the inclusion and diversity of its staff. The mining industry has typically had amongst the lowest representation of women in all industries, and despite efforts, the share of women as a proportion of the total workforce has increased only marginally in recent years. Australia's mining industry is trying to shake the image of being a male-dominated industry. Next slide. BHP states that they are all in and believe that a workplace which is diverse, and inclusive, promotes safety, productivity, and well-being. This is important in BHP's strategy on helping attract and retain all different employees. BHP says that they conduct annual gender pay reviews which help mitigate gender pay disparities and help reduce any bias in the workplace. In 2016, BHP announced its goals to achieve gender balance for its employee workforce by the end of 2025. BHP claims that in 2022, they increased the representation of women in the workforce by 2.5%, with having approximately 8,000 more female employees than in 2016. It also claims that by the end of June 2022, 32.8% of employees were female, which is up 17.6% since they announced their goals in 2016. Another claim by BHP is that in the 2022 financial year, the percentage of newly hired staff was 52.7% male and 47.3% female. This is very close for gender balance and is on the right track. Another improvement claimed is the female representation in the leadership within BHP, with an increase of 2.7% compared to 2021, with a total of 27.9% female leadership at the end of the 2022 financial year. BHP also claimed that they have done other things to accelerate female representation in the 2022 financial year, including targeting people who are not looking to work in the industry, implementing surveys including a Tell Us About You survey, which measures the diversity of the workforce, and launching the third phase of the Respectful Behaviour campaign to reinstate BHP's zero tolerance for sexual harassment and bullying in the workplace. Next slide, please. One piece of evidence to show that BHP are improving its diversity and following its goals is this screenshot taken from BHP's website. Here you can see the percentages of male and female workers. In 2016, female representation was 17.6%, then 20.5% in 2017, the first year after the goal was set. Female representation in the workplace has steadily increased each year and has risen to 29.8% from 2021. In the next slide, another example is at the cover of the BHP annual report for 2020, 2 women are featured on the cover, both wearing company hats and company shirts. The message behind this is that women are welcome and encouraged to work for BHP. In previous years, there were no features of women, and in some cases, no features of people whatsoever in the annual reports. Now on to Richard.
These statistics show that the cultural shift that BHP is going through with gender diversity is not just putting a female on the cover of an annual report. The statistics show from 2020 to 2022, BHP is in fact increasing and are continuing to increase the female percentage in their workforce. So in reflection of the data and the reports, the question is BHP doing enough to meet the set target of gender balance by the end of 2025 financial year? In 2016, BHP announced the aspiration to achieve gender balance in the workforce globally by the end of 2025. This was defined as a minimum 40% women and 40% men, which was in line with the definitions used by entities such as the International Labour Organization and HESTA. As shown in the statistics provided by BHP, 2016 females represented 17.6% of the workforce. And then by the end of June 2022, this percentage had increased by 32.3%. While this is an improvement of 14.7%, the growth rate to date since the target was set in 2016, on average, is only 2.1% per financial year. So while using this average and continuing the existing trend, the percentage increase between now and 2025 would only be 6.3%, lifting the total of the female representation of the workforce to 38.6%. While this is a marked improvement from 2016's 17.6%, it still falls short of the target BHP set for gender balance of 40% by 1.4%. Perhaps one of the biggest missed opportunities for BHP to increase the female workforce percentage lies in the people leader roles. As reported in the BHP 2022 annual report, as of 2020, only 22.4% of BHP's people leader roles were female. 2021 shows a marginal increase to 25.2%, and then finally, as of 2022, females still only account for 27.9% of people leader roles, which equals 1,695 females compared to 4,380 males. It is also interesting to note that this is the first time this data has actually been published in the annual report and has not been reported prior. This data highlights one of the challenges BHP faces with gender balance within its workforce and is further evidence that we do not believe that BHP is doing everything it can to achieve working towards this. Gender balance needs to be across the entire business, which includes middle management, not just at the coalface or senior positions. Advice. The advice we can give you if you're looking to evaluate the ethical and sustainability performance of other companies concerning the same issue would be to look for in any reporting documentation an independent assurance report from a recognised entity, for example, Ernst & Young, Deloitte, KPMG, and PricewaterhouseCoopers. You could then be reassured that the information or the report the company has supplied you has been done so transparently and with accountability. It would ensure the credibility of the information you are researching, ensuring your own credibility is not affected, and supports any referencing in any written documents or reports that you create. Thank you.